Hi guys, back in the shop. A few small updates, get everybody up to speed. The floor is now tacked in. Still a lot of welding to do on this complete floor pan. I drug in all these donor body parts so I can cut the patch panels I need off of them, get them back outside out of the way. I want to get to a good stopping point on the 63. So I can take a break from it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I just picked up another project. I won't tell you what it is. I'll give you a couple hints. So if you know, you know. But the update everybody wants to know, everybody keeps asking me about, is for this guy here. So Sid's been here a week. He's getting along good with everybody. He's put on a lot of weight already. He goes in a week from today for his first heartworm treatment. It's an injection. I didn't know a ton about heartworm until we got him, so I've been researching it because it's kind of my responsibility now. So I guess the plan is he will get the first injection, like I said, a week from today. I guess it can be pretty rough on a dog, pretty painful, but he's young and healthy, so hopefully he pulls through it no problems. But yeah, like I said, he gets 1 injection, go in 30 days later if all is well. We'll get 2 more injections within 24 hours, and he should be good to go. But they're telling us, like I said, it will be kind of rough on him. He can't be running around, playing, getting excited while he's going through treatment, because as those worms die off and deteriorate, they can make their way into his lungs, and if he gets excited, it can throw a blood clot and kill him. So obviously we're going to be having him pinned up. Not a whole lot of playing for him for the next couple of months, but he's doing good so far. But either way, back to the 63. Like I said, we're going to cut up these panels here, get what we need off of them. And there's some stuff left on the car outside still that I'm gonna cut off. So we'll head out there and show you what's up. Okay, so I was planning on using the bottom of both of these doors to replace the bottoms of the ones we're using. Turns out 2-door and 4-door doors are shaped a little different on the bottoms, so I was going to have to use the front half of the front door and the back half of the back door. But I got to looking, and I'm fairly certain this contour here from this body line to this one is the same as it would be on the bottom half. I already cut these bottom quarters off for that green 63 hiding back there. But I'm fairly certain I can cut the rest of this rocker off, this quarter off, and use it as one whole skin for the bottom of the door, rather than piece it together out of these 2 doors. So that's what we're going to try. So like I said, I'll get these cut off there and go from there. No. Done? You done? Done? Huh? You done? Can I have it back? Can I have it back? No. No. Okay, so that giant pile of parts is reduced to this. And we probably won't even use half of this. Most of it will get trimmed away, test fit. But I'm going to start with the bottom edges of these doors. I'm going to use, these are the upper quarter panel pieces we cut off the other car. I'm just going to use these to make a skin for the bottom of the door. I think this bend is a little too tight. I think I can get away with smacking it with a rubber mallet on the back and flatten it out a little bit. And my plan, I'm going to make a template, the whole shape of the bottom of this door, and it'll come up to the center of this body line. And that way I can cut it out of this metal, weld it on. I can just drill it and plug weld it. And then this molding goes right here, the whole length of the door. It'll cover up the seam, cover up the weld, so there'll be no body work on the outside. And then on the inside of the door, I really don't care if you can see it, but that's the plan. So make a template for this, get it transferred to this metal, and kind of start working that metal a little bit and see if we can make it fit. Nope, no, come on, you do this. Thank you, thank you. Come on, come on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a good boy, here we go. Thank you. Come on. Come on, let me do this, buddy. Ah, that's my ear. That is my ear. Out. Oh, you're good at this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's where we're at with it. I made a template that fit on the bottom edge of that door up to that bottom body line. Then I transferred it to the metal we cut off that quarter panel. And I was able to flatten those curves out with a rubber mallet and a wooden block. It matches up perfect with the contour of the door now. But either way, transferred my template to the metal. Left a 1-inch strip of metal. That way, this line here is the actual shape of the door. I'll take a cutoff wheel and scar it right on these lines. Just go through like a third of the metal. And Sid found his way into the attic. But just gonna scar that. That way, once I hang it on the door for good, I can roll the edge just like factory, and it'll roll a lot easier and it'll roll right where it needs to. But that's where we're at. So I'm going to do that, do a little fine tuning on it and some test fitting and check back. Okay, so here's what we got. I just scarred that line all the way around it. And on the corners, you'll have to pie cut it. That way when you fold this over, it's not overlapping itself. And then on any real hard little bends like you got here, that's obviously not going to fold over. So I just trimmed it back a little bit. And this was a 90-degree turn, so just cut the corner off. Obviously, when you fold both sides over, they won't overlap. And for now, I'm just going to start working it with some vice grips and a body hammer. Get it folded over at a 90-degree angle where I can test fit it onto the bottom of that door. And once we hang it for good, you can pinch it all the way flat and weld it up. So we'll see what we get. Okay, so here's what we ended up with. That edge rolled over, no problems. And a super straight, crisp edge. So should be able to slide that right over top of this door, just for a test fit. When we go to install it for good, obviously I'll cut all that old metal out. But for now, let's see how it fits. Okay, so here's what we end up with. Fits really good, considering that old metal's still behind it. A little bit of trimming here and there, but nothing crazy. And once I replace this, all this inner door jamb stuff, I'll just be able to fold this lip right over, so have a nice rolled edge. And like I said, all the welds inside, I really don't care about. And on the outside, it'll all be hidden by that trim. So really all I have to do is blend a little bit of white back in there and should be good. But I think this guy is ready to call it a night. So we'll hit it again tomorrow. Alright guys, I'm back at it. I got this door, all the old metal cut out. Got this new one tacked into place. It all fits really good. I'm super happy with it. Still some metal work to do on the inside, but you can see how I just rolled that over. I'll be able to weld that, grind it, seam seal it, it'll be good to go. One thing I'm not happy with, and it's my fault, that corner, I should have made a lot more relief cuts, but instead I made one, I think here, here, and here. So when I folded that lip over, as you can see, it flattened out the corner a little bit. So what I'm going to do with that just took a metal clothes hanger, cut me a chunk off, bent it to the radius of that corner, and try and do this with one hand, but I'm just going to basically weld it in place so the gap on this corner matches everything. And there may be small gaps between the sheet metal and the clothes hanger, but I'll be able to fill that all with weld, reshape that corner a little bit, grind it smooth, and be good to go. So that's what I'm going to do. So here's what we ended up with. Nice round corner on there. A little grinding and buffing. It'll be as close to perfect as we want it on this car. Don't want it to look too good, look out of place. But yeah, there's a little old school trick for you. I call it the abortion trick. Call it whatever you want. Hey guys, here's the finished product, at least for now. Still a lot of welding to do on the inside, and I will practice on some scrap metal to try to get this patina matched up before I touch that. But here's what I was saying, how this molding covers up that whole seam. So there'll be zero body work needing done on the outside other than blending this patina in. But I'm super pumped with it. I need to do the driver's side, but I'm not going to show you guys that. You've seen one, so we'll jump to the fenders. Okay, so here's what we got. We're going to start on the driver's fender. It's the worst by far. As you can see, there's nothing left of the whole back side of it. I got to get what's left of the inner fender well cut out of there. This front edge, there should be, I don't know, 6-7 inches of metal hanging down that is not there. On the front, there's a piece of trim that goes around here, so that'll all get covered up, but I still need something to bolt it to, so we'll replace all that. And on the inside, like I said, there's just nothing left of the inside of this fender. So we'll have to replace all that. It's pretty ugly, but that's all right. We got PC parts and we have fixed worse. So trim that piece up. This piece is pretty ugly. It's got a hole in the back, so I'll have to dig all that mud out, but still a lot better than what we're starting with. So we got that PC part, and this is the whole inside rail and the front piece of the fender there. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. A lot of work just to save a junk fender, but it goes with the car. So we're gonna see what we can do with it. But yeah, I guess we'll get started and see what we come up with. Just to give you guys a little idea of what I got going on and how I'm going about this. Just kind of sliding that in place as close as I can get it. using holes that are still left on both fenders as reference points. So I got, 4 holes up here, 1 back here. So at least I know I'm in the neighborhood of where I need to be. So just kind of marked where I'm going to do all my cuts. I'm giving myself probably an inch and a half of wiggle room right now. Just kind of chiseling away at this. It's best to remove not enough and too much. So at least I can get it down to a workable size and fine tune it. And like I said, using holes as reference points, I'll get it to where it fits good. We'll flange one of these, this one or this one, overlap it, weld it in place. And like I said, using those reference points, we'll know where we need to be. And on this car, right about where I cut it is where the bumper wraps around. So most of this is hidden anyways, but so it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to do the best job we can. So that's kind of the plan. Okay, so give you guys a look at this before I get started. I got my piece cleaned up, trimmed down. I left these little tabs on both ends because they have my reference holes in them. But once we get started and I know everything's in place, not going to move, we'll trim those off. But it'll kind of just fit right on there. On any straight edge like we have here, you can't do it here where there's curves, but any flat straight piece, I left an extra half an inch, and we will put a flange on it using this flange tool. I mean, I think you'd understand how it works. You just line up that notch onto your line, and it'll just flange it. And then when you lay this back on, they'll actually sit level instead of one being on top of another. So here's what we got. Not perfect, but plenty good enough for this car. I could probably work this metal a little more, or just give it a real light skim coat filler, but I don't know if I'll even do that. I may just blend the patina back in just like it is, because it's pretty close, and we obviously don't want perfection. So yeah, a little imperfection would just add to it. So I'll probably actually just let it ride like that and blend it back in. I'm going to jump on this back corner and it's just more of the same, so I won't show you every step, but here we go. So here's the finished product for now. About halfway through, I was thinking I really should have just bought a lower fender for this thing. Reason being, that piece I used ended up having a previous rust hole repair, and this whole back piece was shot. Nothing to save there, so I ended up bending that up anyways. The only thing I benefited from it was I didn't have to make all this by hand. But either way, it's done now. I'll throw a little skim coat of mud on there, and it'll be good enough. It's pretty funny. My good donor panels are worse than most people's junk panels that they'd throw in the trash. But yeah, that's kind of what we do around here. Hi guys, I'm dirty and tired and heading in the house. This will probably be the last video on the 63 for a couple of weeks. I have that new project and it's probably bugging a couple of you not knowing what it is. But then again, I'm not even sure anybody watches this junk. And if you do, what's wrong with you? But either way, Sid has a few vet appointments this week. That'll be my top priority. But if I have time, I'll try to get another video out. It may be hanging the doors and fenders on here and blending in the patina. If not, it'll be the new project. But either way, check it out.